All right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. It's early. I'm not used to streaming this early. It's noon Pacific. And today, we're going to do a character preview, the first character preview for our upcoming Oblivion Oath stream that's going to start April 4th, I believe it is. Thursday, April 4th at noon, right here on this very channel that you're watching me talk to you on right now. We're super excited. But between now and then, we've got to tell you folks about who's playing the game. Who is it? What characters are they playing? And in general, who are you going to be listening to for the next, hopefully, long time? Who knows? But to kick things off, right off the bat, we decided to get one of our favorites. Katina's in the house.
Hi,
Katina, everybody. Thank you for joining us. First off, before we get into the character stuff, which I'm sure everybody wants, like right away, let's just get into that. But first of all, how long have you worked? Because you work at, basically, I don't know if we already said this, but everybody that's in the game works at Paizo. This is really our lunchtime game. It's like, all right, time for lunch, and then we grab our dice and grab our dice trays, and we're playing a game. We just decided, hey, let's stream it, and it'll actually be a lot of fun. So, I don't have favorites. Like, Katina's everybody's favorite. Come on.
It's true.
So how long have you worked for Paizo, and what do you do at Paizo?
So actually, this coming Sunday is my 5-year anniversary here.
No way!
Yeah.
Congratulations! 5 years. That's
crazy. It's the longest.
I wish I had a firework gift that I could shoot off
or like
over
a
the screen.
party popper or something. Whee! And then you'd have to clean up the confetti, and that would not be fun.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Note to self: no party poppers.
No confetti.
Ever. Okay.
Yeah, no. So 5 years, which is crazy to me. I don't understand how time works. I work in customer service. So answering emails and phones and stuff, and I recently also started dipping my toes into freelance writing and stuff. So done a couple card game scenarios and some other things that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about yet. So
well, you know what?
We'll
this
see.
is my arena. You can talk about whatever you want.
That's
not
sure
really
that
true.
That's how that works.
We'll get shut down quick.
Yeah.
Like, James Jacobs or somebody will burst through that door.
Jason will fly back from GaryCon and kick down the door.
Yeah.
No!
Like, how did you even get here?
That's amazing.
So
Good job.
So, all right. So you work at you're working for PaizoCon. I mean, PaizoCon. You're working for Paizo for coming up on 5 years very soon. 4 days from now.
Yeah.
I think. If fast mind math tells me anything.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Let's just
Sunday.
You know, you have to pay for the whole seat.
That's true, but I only need the edge.
Need the edge. Boom. There it is.
Case closed. We're done now.
And then also for PaizoCon, like I mentioned earlier, it's one of those things where all of us are there.
Yes.
So what I'm kind of hoping is that PaizoCon rolls around in May.
End of May.
We'll be starting the show at the beginning of April. So by the time PaizoCon comes around, it would be really cool if there are folks there that, you know, can chat with us about the show and all of that kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, we may even have a thing that you could watch while you're at PaizoCon. Maybe. I don't know this yet.
You're worse than Owen over here, just giving all the secrets.
I didn't say it was a definite thing. I said maybe. That's very important.
I said maybe.
Said call me maybe. I'm sorry about that joke.
All right. Is there a go back
anyway,
in time button over here?
So Katina's not in the game anymore. No, I'm really excited to talk to people about it at PaizoCon, because PaizoCon's always fun for talking to fans and other creators and stuff anyway. So it'll be really awesome to have people be like, oh my god, I love your thing, or I hate your thing. So hopefully not that one.
I was going to say, you were really optimistic.
Yeah, thank you. I try.
Well, you know, but from what I've seen, it's going to be awesome. And the reason I know that is because some of you out there might have watched our Pathfinder playtest that we did. We did it was a good few months of playing I think it was 4 hours a day or something like that every Thursday. Yeah. And each chapter was 2 weeks. We cut it in half and everything. Yeah. And you were a part of the crew that kept coming back. Yeah. You were chapters 1, 4, and 7, I believe.
Yes.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. And so we got to see a lot of how you play the game and all of that sort of thing. What was your high points of being a part of that team, if any? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I hated it. No, it was a lot of fun. Like, I played a monk. I played Evelirin. She was a half-elf monk, and she took the tiger stance. And so she did a lot of just ripping tracheas out, which people really enjoyed.
They did.
Because bloodshed and violence.
And it was very enjoyable.
It's so cathartic for the person doing the ripping, not for the person losing their trachea, probably.
Well, you know.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was a really fun group. And it was obviously trying out the new rules and trying to and obviously they've changed since then, but it was a really cool experience, and just seeing people get excited about me ripping tracheas out and the other creative. There were some weird moments in those where someone went inside of a Shoggoth and then exploded out, and just so much weird stuff that happened. It was wonderful.
It was great. I think that there's now, because there was a point where you had a battle cry of some kind, and I think that it became a command in the chat, and I honestly I can't remember what it is though, but it's in there, and I think
it was whoosh whoosh.
I think
or
it's
something
whoosh,
like that. Okay,
but the command to get it, I think was like epic battle cry or something. It's like exclamation. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay,
you could put exclamation point commands, and it'll bring up a link to all of our commands there. But you know, just that sort of thing where your team, while being a bigger part of the game and everything, were able to keep coming back, keep connecting to some of the chat, and there were these nice little like funny moments that came out of that. And I feel like that it's that sort of thing that it's just going to continue. And now that we've got the same group that people can get to know, there it is, epic battle cry, whoosh whoosh.
Oh, whooshy whoosh.
Oh, it is whooshy whoosh. That's right.
I barely even remember that until you told me a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
The second you said that, it just kind of hit the chat. It was like, and I think it started with whooshy whoosh. Was that what she said? It was like, oh, that's exactly what she said.
It's really epic in terms of battle cries.
Yeah.
Strike fear into the hearts.
It is totes epic. Yes, it is amazing. So it's things like that, that we're looking forward to with, being able to connect again with folks and not having that barrier of, hey, we'll see you for 2 weeks and then I'm not going to see you again for another month.
Yeah. And
so I'm kind of excited about a lot of that stuff. Yeah. What are you most looking forward to with Oblivion Oath?
Oh, jeez.
Well, let's take one step back.
Okay.
Are you nervous about being an Oblivion Oath?
Well, I wasn't until people started being like, oh, better make some more characters. Jason's going to murder all of you. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's totally feasible and probably what he's trying to do. So, we don't have any backup characters at the moment. Adrian actually pointed out that Jason shouldn't kill us because then we'd have to order more art. So,
you bring up an interesting point is that by Jason killing folks, that's just more work for him when he's already got a lot of stuff that he's got to keep track of and take care of. So, so
I feel like if he's going to get close to be like, oh, TPK, we'll be like, do you really want to do that?
I feel like that's probably bought you a month.
Hopefully.
I think that within a month, he'll have caught up.
He's just going to order random art, and then if someone dies, be like, you're this character now. You have nothing to say about it.
And Lacey said that she'll doodle some more characters for us. So
awesome.
That sounds great. I'm in.
I would like to be Grookey from the new Pokemon game. I'm sorry.
Well, now you're just talking about IPs that
I know. I'm sorry.
I'll have to.
Anyway,
I'll blur it out, and then it'll look more scandalous than it really was.
Are you gonna mask my voice?
You turn into Bane.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I don't know how well that translates with a microphone, so I'm sorry if that sounded really weird.
It'll be great. I'm not worried about it at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, I wasn't nervous. I kind of am for death in terms of character, but I'm vastly majority looking forward to it because it's such a great group and Jason is fun to play with, and obviously it's all new material. We don't know anything that's gonna happen, so it's gonna be so much fun, and all the other people have great characters and they're really creative and smart people, so I have a feeling it's going to be very entertaining to be in and hopefully also to watch.
Yeah. I think so. I think that with the group we have, and that was the other thing is when we put the call out, we had a lot of people that wanted to do it. And
yeah.
My first thing was, can we just do more shows?
Yeah,
that would be great.
Okay, you're in this group. We have like 5 shows now.
Yeah, it would have been great. But what are you gonna do? Statler, thank you so much. 4 months in a row. Thanks for subscribing for 4 months. That's amazing. Apple Knees, how are you? Good to see you in this chat. I usually see Apple Knees in Jason's chat. So, what is as far as Oblivion Oath goes?
Yes.
We kind of knew it was going to be second edition.
Yeah.
Because everything should be closer to finalized by then, and we kind of put it off as far as we could. And finally, we were like, okay, that
we have to. Yeah,
exactly. What are the things that you're super excited about? Where you're like, oh my gosh, as far as new rules, how do you feel about playing with new rules?
I'm excited because they shouldn't be hopefully too different from. I'm sure stuff has changed, and I have no idea what, obviously, but I think a lot of this stuff should be fundamentally the same, and I've heard some, good feedback and everything like that. So, in terms of rules, I'm not super worried. I mean, it's weird because I'm also not the most veteran player at Paizo anyway. I've only been in a couple of campaigns, and it's all been first edition, obviously. So it's still new to me, but it's fun to learn. And the character from Doomsday Dawn of Valyrian, she was awesome, and she was very punchy and very just kicked butt and took names. And so I'm playing a little bit of a different character this time, so I'm excited to kind of see how much it differs and how I can use it creatively, in a different way. So we'll have to see.
since you've brought the subject up, speaking of your new character, one of the reasons we're here, I mean, obviously we're here to get to know Katina a little bit more. The thing that I was worried about is once the game starts, we're not going to be able to talk to you, the people, very much. And so I thought, let's do this right now and kind of get that so that we've got some established baselines and everybody knows who everybody is. And because I think we're all pretty groovy, and so I thought it'd be cool if we could talk. So, but let's get into the character. Okay. You have a character that you've created for Oblivion Oath. Give me the top level information. Let's say we're at a dinner party or a cocktail party, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Servo.
Yeah.
You tell me about you.
As the character?
In character if you want, or tell me about the character.
Okay.
You get to decide. I'm not going to force RP on you. That's not cool.
I'm not sure. I'm still tinkering with if I want to do.
If you're still workshopping,
voices,
I don't want to put it out there.
We'll see. We have to. So I mean, I don't know. The big reveal, I guess. Her name is Mykah. And she is a gnome wizard.
Oh,
so
that is gonna be great.
Yeah, I am excited. I haven't played a wizard before, even in first edition. So that's gonna be different, and juggling spells and everything like that is gonna be new to me. So hopefully that won't be too much of me flipping through stuff. Hang on, everybody. But she's great. She's got bright pink hair, and I mean, clearly I think people with weird colored hair are not okay. So you have to do it in the fantasy genre, because in real life that just wouldn't fly.
I mean, we can see that
straight lace.
Yes, totally. So let's do this.
Okay.
So it's a gnome wizard.
Yep.
Name is
Mykah.
Mykah, not Mykah.
No, not Mykah.
Okay.
Who works in our warehouse.
Yeah, that's true.
I should play Mykah sometime.
I don't think we would be able to put that on our stream.
Probably not. That would not be safe for work.
So then, do we know who did the character portraits that we have?
I don't. Jason
either.
Does.
Jason. So yeah, that's. Let's see.
He had mentioned it at some point, but I do not remember right now. But I love it. I think it's great.
Let's see. Maybe Lacey or maybe Sarah Marie. If somebody's in the chat that can
help us figure out art.
Oh, Mark's in the chat too. Mark Moreland's there. Pixel Slayer. Oh.
I'm a bean. Thanks.
So yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love the artwork. Pixel Slayer. It's amazing. It's so good. I'm really excited to show off the rest.
Did it? Okay.
To show off the
I'm
rest
not
of
the mean.
the. Yeah, you are.
Okay, thanks.
You certainly are. To show off the rest of the character portraits because they look so good. In fact, that was one of the big teases that I wanted to do was put them all in silhouette because they're so they already look iconic in silhouette. So it's going to be good. If you are on desktop or anything, I don't think it works on the mobile app for Twitch, but if you scroll down to where our About section is, there's a panel called Character Sheets, and you can see Oblivion Oath. And I've put some stuff in there. After the show today, I'm going to fill in the character stats as best I can.
Yeah.
But I need the character sheet to do all of that. So.
Right. That's on my desk.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so we know some of the ancestry and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the history?
Well, I mean, Mykah's been a little bit all over the place. Her parents were actually part of the circus, and so her mom was an acrobat, and she also kind of used magic to enhance her performances and stuff like that. And Mykah's dad was a merchant before they met, and now he sells merch for the circus, basically. So
okay.
It's cute. They're cute. And yeah, she kind of grew up, with the other children of the circus, and they traveled all the time because it was a traveling troupe. So, and for gnomes, that's perfect because, they want to go see everything and experience stuff so that they don't have the bleaching, which I don't know if we need to describe to people, but basically if gnomes get bored or they don't discover something new or do fun cool stuff, their hair gets all like white and gray and they just get sad and depressed. And so yeah, basically we don't want Mykah to get bored. She wants to go and have fun new experiences. So that was the perfect life. And then when she was very young, she left the circus and all of that, and she became an apprentice, I guess is an okay word.
Okay.
With a wizard in Ustalav.
Okay.
And so she was with him for a couple years learning stuff and, just doing kind of menial tasks. And at first it was kind of like sweep the floor, do this. And then he kind of noticed that she had some magical talents. Because her mom was always like, teaching her little cool things. So, but yeah, no. So she was with that wizard, and he taught her some stuff, and now she is not with that wizard anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now, and this is where it gets really kind of tricky for a lot of us, because as anybody that's played a tabletop RPG knows, or any kind of RPG for that matter, there's a lot of mystery. You know, there's a lot of like trying to look at it in terms of if you meet somebody, you're like, well, I'm not going to tell you everything about me. That's weird.
Here's all my dirty laundry.
Exactly. But that dirty laundry is a part of the makeup, and a part of something that as you spend more time, you're probably going to see a lot more of that stuff. Yeah. And so I think that for these character previews, we're probably not going to have Q&A because I don't want to put anybody in the situation where we end up saying some things. It's like, oh crud, I was hoping to save that for later. What I'm hoping is with these is you can tell me as much about your character as you feel comfortable doing. Because also if we put it all out there right now, then it loses some of the fun. I think that and so DC Caldemeyer's asking, or D. Caldemeyer's asking, did she do something to the wizard and all that kind of stuff? And it's like, who knows? Maybe. Who knows? I mean, I would like to think that there's all kinds of fun, rollicking background in all of these histories, but I don't know if right now is the time to get it all out there.
Yeah.
So you were an apprentice of sorts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have the preview that we're doing next week.
Yes.
We can kind of blend into that one. A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much.
Yeah.
But the character that we're doing next week, your character already knows.
Yes. Yeah. We are friends.
You're friends, so you would call them friends. They are friends. They're not just acquaintances or anything like that.
No, it was kind of the brief history of that is just when I was kind of running errands for my wizard, he you know, my wizard that I have, he would send me kind of out to the market, you know, go get such and such components or whatever. So I would go out and do errands, and I met this person through kind of going out and about, because otherwise I didn't really get to leave that much. So, you know, so I was there a lot. So I was really excited about being able to go out to the market and go shopping and, you know, see everything, because especially for a gnome, I'm like, I'm cooped up in here all the time. I hate it.
Can't handle this. Well, you know what's funny is Gabe's in the chat.
Oh, is he?
Walugogo, I assume.
Yep.
It sounds exactly like something that Gabe would have his screen name. He's saying that you're the best of friends.
Oh, well,
that his character and your character are the best of friends.
We're pretty good. Well, so that's the thing, is that we met, and it was kind of like, first it was just kind of an acquaintance, like merchant relationship, and then it was like over time we kept seeing each other, like, oh hey, you're here, and you know, just ended up being friends. And kind of, so I mean, what we know about the beginning of the campaign is we're all trying to get on that boat, is what Jason said. So that's not spoiling anything, but basically, yeah, it comes to the point where me and my friend Gabe's character decide it's time to go. We need to get out of here.
All right.
So we make a plan to expediently retreat from where we're at.
He is really pushing the best agenda on here, because he's just reinforced it again.
Yeah,
so
I think we're good friends, but
oh, she said good friends, so
I'm not trying to like.
I hope you're sitting down, Gabe.
Sorry, Gabe.
Anyway,
no, we're like good friends, but he also might have a different idea of how friendships work.
That's
from
fair.
His
that's
character,
totally fair.
yeah. So it kind of makes sense.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I'm pushing.
Gabe's
some
crying
buttons, Gabe.
now, and
I know,
it's all
I
your
know.
fault.
Sorry, Gabe.
We're not getting any products managed today.
I know. I'm kidding. I wasn't. Now everyone's like, "Wow, that's harsh."
Jeez,
sorry.
Well, so we're good friends, but I'm sure that throughout Oblivion Oath we will become even better friends.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. I think you're absolutely right. I think as especially as the audience gets to know the characters more, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of watch. And I think it was Statler said in the chat that first level, minimal background, let things kind of. And I feel like these characters are really kind of fleshed out for being first level.
Right,
so I think it's just going to grow even more. I think it's just going to be an even better time watching the interactions, and hopefully not in real life, but some static, some friction between some of the party members and all of that sort of thing. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see that. So
well, it'll be interesting because, like you said, there's secrets and backstory and stuff, but the nice thing for my character is that Gabe's character is the one that knows her secrets, or at least, the important ones, or like the ones she wants to reveal, but I don't know the other people. So it's going to be a different level of interaction and kind of seeing how much do I trust them? How much do I want to tell them? Are they going to judge me? Like, I mean, I overthink everything in real life, so it's probably going to be a lot of that, but role playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see how the characters get along and how they get to know each other, because me and Gabe know each other, but as far as I know, I don't think we've met the other two, so it's going to be kind of a interesting joining of paths, finding of paths even.
There it is.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Ding.
I had to we need like a pun counter maybe.
If you're going to be on the team, we definitely need a pun counter.
At least it's not me and Eric Keith again, because that was puns everywhere.
It was very punny. All of those shows was just rapid fire. So
I appreciate it.
Roll credits, yeah, exactly. So anyway, is there anything else about your character that you feel like we want to cover? Because also another good thing about doing this is that we can use these parts for the character intros, so that when we get to the game, hopefully people have a pretty good idea of who these characters are. So the critical information is going to be kind of important. So what do we want to do, as far as any other information that you might want to get out there so that people already have in their back pocket as they start the show?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think one thing that I kind of think is interesting and might help people figure out how to look at Mykah is, I think the first kind of concept that I thought of when I was like, yes, this character is, I kind of wanted her to be a little bit like Princess Unikitty from the Lego movie.
I'm okay with it.
Just very
That's awesome.
like cute and naive, and she tries to be really happy, and you know, I mean, she grew up with an entertainment background. She really likes to be around people and please people and everything like that, but she's also seen some stuff, so she'll be really like, yay, let's friendship, we'll conquer the odds, and then but then if she needs to like get something done, she'll be like, oh, it's time to do this. So she can still like kick butt, and you know, but I just kind of picture her being like happy and optimistic, but also like internally just stressed out and trying to like figure out what's going on. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not promising I'm going to do that voice, because I feel like that could also that could hurt my throat, but we'll see.
After a while, I can see that.
And you know, there won't be like rainbows and sunshine all the time when we're fighting stuff, I assume. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I guess I'm not sure. One thing you can kind of see in her artwork is, so she's got her staff, which is just, you know, wizard staff, but then she's got that spell book, and it's she's pretty protective of it. She definitely keeps it with her all the time. She's kind of, you know, clamping onto it most of the time, and she'll flip through it and study it and kind of scrutinize it a lot. So she's a little bit obsessed with it and doesn't really trust people with it, but that's her notebook, and she will not let it out of her sight.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's just, I guess, a thing to keep in mind.
It's I like that.
A little bit of a cliffhanger,
yeah.
I guess.
No,
I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like, you know, again, it just kind of, you know, it's like when an item is highlighted in a video game, and you're like, well, obviously that means something.
This has got a name, so. Yeah, and honestly, she actually is trying to think of a name for the spell book. She's kind of working on it. And, oh crap, there was something else that popped in my head, and now I forgot what it was. Yeah, but that's definitely her thing. Oh, what I was going to say is since she left the wizard, she didn't technically finish her schooling, so she's not technically like graduated as a wizard.
Okay.
So she's fumbling through a little bit, trying to kind of make up for her occasional incompetence. But she's trying real hard.
You know, and that's the type of thing that, you know, is good to know, because then, you know, you almost hope that fails sometimes. Like, you hope things kind of go wrong sometimes, because it fits right in with that idea. That's
always the most fun part of playing role-playing games anyway, is when your whole party is trying to solve this one weird little problem and like throwing all the randomest solutions at it that you can find. I feel like that's the best kind of role-playing, and that's the most fun for games that I've had anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's fun for people to watch.
That's what we're all banking on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm
anything
excited.
Else?
I don't think so.
Awesome.
I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yay.
We're looking forward to the 4th.
I'm excited.
It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be fun.
Let's see. So next week we will be doing exact same time, noon Pacific. We'll be doing this again with Gabe, who is in the chat. As what was it?
Walugogo.
Walugogo. He'll be back talking about his character, and then we've got 2 more after that. We've got 3 more people going on after this, and I'm really excited about it. So, anything else?
I'm totally gonna watch their streams so I can learn about their character. So
taking notes the whole time. Yeah, totally.
Weaknesses.
All right, let me do a goodbye.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap up the video.
That works.
And then we can talk to Twitch for a little bit if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you learned a lot today. I know I did. If you are looking to see how this whole character thing plays out, make sure you're here at twitch.tv/officialpaizo on April 4th at noon Pacific when we start Oblivion Oath. It'll be it's kind of our lunchtime game here at Paizo, run by Jason Bowman. It'll be using Pathfinder Second Edition rules, so it should be a lot of fun. In the meantime, for Paizo and for Katina over here, and for me, I'm your old buddy Dan. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, good.
Yay.
All right, so again, we can do some Q&A
Okay.
if we want to, but there's not a lot. I don't want to put you in a position where
I mean, I
can
say I'm not going to answer.
that. Perfect. That's what I'm hoping. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So if you have some questions, we can do that. Let's put the image back up because it is such a. I like all of the
she's
characters.
so great.
It's so good. And I'm super excited to show off everybody. I'm actually putting together a kind of what like in marketing we call it a family shot, where it's like all of the stuff together.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm putting one of those together. So
yay,
it's going to be
friends.
kind of cool to have everybody together.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got some questions here. Specialty school. Was it mentioned, and they might have missed it if they got there late. Did you mention the specialty school?
No.
Okay.
She's going to be a universalist, I believe.
Okay. All right.
So I don't have all the like spells and everything 100% worked out yet.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think she's just she's learning about kind of all the magic and all the ways it can help people.
Right. Okay.
So
Kimlek, awesome. Thanks for ordering. That's great. Pre-ordered 2E
woohoo!
today, the deluxe
Nice.
box. That's awesome.
Yeah. They look pretty
Let's
nice.
see. Critical Ham. Yep. Pixel. She's. They're in the chat right now, so there's that. Let's see. How
Critical
long?
Ham. I like that.
I think that's what it says. Critical
That's
Ham.
what it looks like.
Okay, good. See, that's the other thing too, is the screen is actually not super close, and so sometimes
It's a little
those
hard.
the brightly colored ones for screen names kind of blend together sometimes. So there it is, Critical Ham. Yes. Let's see. So D. Caldemeyer, this is a hard question to answer about how long did it take you to make your character, because it was done in steps. Like it really
Yeah.
was kind of drawn out. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. What do you think?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know how much Jason wants me to like reveal the secrets. I mean, we started with concepts, which I mean that's even in the building of the character section is like start with your concepts. So that's kind of where we started, and that was, I mean, it was a while ago, but I think the time span we had to do it was maybe a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically Jason sending out questions and to kind of get us thinking about our characters, just stuff that would kind of spark different thoughts or tangents. And so went through and filled that out and kind of started with a concept that way. And then, I mean, we even posted on Tuesday that's when we were starting the like mechanics and rules creation. So that part, I mean, we did in a day, and I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I haven't played a wizard before, so I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many spells. What do I do?
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, it was kind of a thing in chunks, so
Yeah.
it's hard to gauge.
And that's kind of it. It wasn't like here's everything. Go ahead and make a
Right.
character, and so it's kind of hard to answer that question. I think.
Yeah.
If you're looking for an indication of character creation in Pathfinder Second Edition, I don't know if you should use our experiences for that. I don't think that would be
No.
fair to do.
I will say though, and I was actually just talking to the other folks in customer service about this earlier, it is easier.
Mhm.
Like with first edition, and like I said, I'm not the most experienced player, but it always took me a while to figure out how to make my character. And you know, I mean, I happen to be married to someone with all the rules in their brain, so I'm like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And so he's just like, let me go on my website. But so I mean, he would help me a lot, and for the Doomsday Dawn game, he helped me a decent amount. And you know, I work here, so I get to ask people questions. But this time around, a lot more of it I felt like I could do on my own, which for me is a big deal because it is less frustrating. It's a lower barrier to entry, I think. So it really was a lot easier. And like I said, even though I'm still not done, that's just because I'm indecisive and there's a lot of options. So I do think it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So
let's see. So what I'm gonna be, Dungeon Novice, I'm gonna be behind the scenes. I'm gonna be at the computer running chat. I'll be running cameras, making sure that that's moving. I'm also running Sirenscape, so that we can have a little bit of a mood going through. Ambiance, if you will. And then also we're trying to start up a new process that we can talk about more a little bit later, but basically utilizing the Stream Elements loyalty system that we're calling GP that you can use. And I'm still trying to get a lot of things worked out with this, because we have 3 people, like 4 different teams that are going to be streaming on our channel, and so I'm trying to find out who wants to be involved in this or not. But we're trying to make it so that you, the audience, can have a little bit of interaction with the game, and so I'm trying to work on that, and I'll be keeping an eye on that during the streams as well. So when you're chatting with people, it'll probably be me during the game. So let's see. The link that Charm Needle put in, that goes to the discussion board, if you didn't see that already. So let's see. What does Mykah think about boat travel? Love it, hate it, indifferent?
I mean, I would imagine she'd love it. I'm not sure if she did any boat travel for the circus. I feel like that'd be really hard to get everything into boats, but I think she'll be into it. If she doesn't get seasick, then she'd be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Good luck on that fortitude.
So, yeah, we'll see how that works. But I mean, from what I can tell about this boat trip, it doesn't seem like it's going to be like a fun cruise, with Disney characters or anything. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
If Wizard was already taken, what do you think you would do beyond that?
I don't know. I've always kind of liked the thought of an alchemist, just because I love basically the trope of like, I'm gonna throw some things together and make a bomb, or like, right. I made this elixir and now I have green hair. Like, I was gonna say purple hair, but that's not very weird? Imaginative. Yeah, it'd be crazy. I've always liked the thought of the alchemist. When I was, I don't know if this is interesting for anybody, but when I was in high school, my friend made like, oh, if you had a superpower, it'd be this. I feel like everyone had a version of this, but apparently my version of the superpower that I was deemed with was I would have a big, like Carmen Sandiego trench coat with all sorts of little bottles in it that just were like bombs or smoke bombs or anything. And I've always liked, I'm like, yeah, I could totally see doing that, because you don't need superpowers. You just need to be good at alchemy and science. So I've always thought that was fun, but I played a little bit of a gnome alchemist actually in a play-by-post game, but it didn't last very long because I never posted. So whoops.
Oh wow. All right. So was it because you didn't like it?
Well, yeah. It was lots of fun, but it was just like, I have to post like every day. I can't do that. I wasn't the only one, so.
This is something that came up on Twitter quite a bit.
Okay.
Do you have backup characters already made?
No. And now I'm feeling like we should. I'm just not really. I mean, hopefully it's not like first game out of the gate, Jason's just like, anyway, you're all dead. So it'll be a couple weeks for our next stream while we all make characters again.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, the art, it'll prevent him from killing us, right?
It will, yeah. Let's hope so.
Yeah, we'll see.
So there was a little bit in your background when you're kind of reciting your history. There was a little bit of a hand waving in the timeline and all of that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And again, this might be that one where you're like, I'm not answering that. But was the circus that you were a part of, was that in Last Wall, playing in Last Wall, and when all of this stuff went down?
I don't think so. Okay. It was several years ago at this point, and Mykah was pretty young when she left. Mm-hmm. So she doesn't actually know where they were, like when she left.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
So have to word things kind of carefully, but yeah, she doesn't know where the circus was, and she has no idea of how to find them.
Right.
So it's not like you can just pull out like a cell phone and be like, anyway, find my circus.
Find my circus. Yeah. That's an important
like
app to
iPhones,
have.
Yeah. So she'd love to, but yeah, she doesn't know where they are. So who knows? I mean, we might run across them. We might not.
That's part of the fun mystery.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. So, but it was a while ago.
Okay.
She spent several years, under the tutelage of this wizard friend.
Nice.
Friend.
Quote
unquote.
Quote unquote. All right. Well, let's go ahead and put a pin in this in this episode. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for joining us. This was fun to actually put some of this out there and start finally being able to talk about some of it. You know, we've been sitting on it for a while, and it's been you know, we did our stream last week.
Yeah.
It was, we could finally talk about it, you know, and so I'm so excited about that.
Jason was teasing people a lot about it on Twitter. He's like, I'm so excited to announce this thing, and I knew what it was, and I was just like, yeah, because I don't want to get in trouble, but also I was excited. So.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, April 4th.
Yes.
April 4th, noon, right here on this very station that you're watching us on right now.
Indeed.
It's going to be a fun time, I think.
It's going to be lots of fun.
Anything you want to say to the lovelies out there before we go?
The lovelies.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited to see how everybody enjoys it, and I'm really glad that I get to talk about my character for a week before anybody gets to talk about theirs.
Yeah.
I'm just really stoked. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it goes.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope to goodness that I see you right back here next Thursday at noon, because we're talking to Gabe, and we're going to be going into the best friend, depending on who you ask, of Katina's character, and we'll be revealing the second character that's going to be playing in Oblivion Oath, and we would love to have you right back here. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow for Pathfinder Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/officialpaizo. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a great day, Katina.
You too, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.